Hey Mike, my name's Drew. I'm from Louisiana, and first of all, I want to say congratulations on completing your orchestra. That's an incredible accomplishment, and I can't think of any other guitar players in modern rock bands that have done anything like this, so it's definitely something you should be proud of. So now I guess I'm going to tell you why I feel like I deserve, I guess is the right word, the two tickets for Louisiana to see your performance in LA. I've been a diehard Incubus fan for the past 8 years now. When I was in the seventh grade, I think, I heard Pardon Me on the radio. And I didn't know who the band was. I had never heard it before, but it was just so different. I fell in love with it right when I heard it. I thought it was just the coolest song. So I asked my friend Jordy if he had heard the song before, and if so, if he knew who the band was, because I had to hear more of their stuff. And Jordy was like, "Oh yeah, that's Incubus. They have a CD called Make Yourself, and it's really good. You should check it out." So I went to the store that week and bought Make Yourself, and it completely changed my life. It completely changed how I felt about music. It made me want to start playing guitar, and I probably listened to that CD every day for the entire year. It was just, I thought it was an incredible CD. Uh, but I want to tell you a little bit more about my friend Jordy now. Jordy and I went to school together from kindergarten all the way through high school. And Jordy was born with spina bifida. It left him in leg braces his entire life, and he walked with a very distinguishable limp that everybody recognized him by, and he's just a very, very quiet, very down-to-earth guy. I got to know him pretty much because of Incubus. As I got more and more into Incubus, Jordy started listening to y'all more too, and we both just kind of got so into the band and into the music that like every day we were reading on the Incubus message boards to see what was new with the band projects and stuff. And anytime I would read something cool, the first person I would call was Jordy, and he was the friend I had that I knew would care about Incubus news, and he had probably already read it too. Um, Jordy and I both loved listening to the live recordings that people would post online, and we'd just sit there and listen to them and say like, oh, that was cool. Ben changed that bass line there. Or Mike did something different on guitar there. We just loved comparing like the studio CDs to the live songs, and I mean, Incubus started our friendship. I would say like it was just a common interest that we both really were passionate about, and that got us to be friends on other levels as well. Um, but this summer in May, Jordy had gone off to the school in Mississippi, and he came back this May, and he was at my apartment this night in May, and he had a sudden heart attack and passed away. And it was really unexpected. We found out that he had an enlarged heart, and I mean, there's nothing anybody could have done. But when something happens like that, you really can't help but reevaluate your own life. And I started to do that just days after he passed away. And Jordy really was just one of the most inspirational, down-to-earth, humble people I've ever met in my life. And one thing about Jordy that I realized was different from me was that Jordy never said that he couldn't do anything. And I mean, he had every reason to say that. Like he had a pretty physically limiting handicap, and I realized how many things that I just say, I can't do that. For instance, when I found out that the symphony was going to be performed in LA, I mean, as much as I wanted to go, right off the bat, I just said, I can't go, it's in LA. But then after I just started thinking about my life and how Jordy just never said anything like that, I realized that there was no good reason that I couldn't go out to LA to see the symphony of the band that I love. I mean, Incubus has been my favorite band by far for the past 8 years, and Mike, I love all your solo work too. Time Lapse Consortium, I love you guys' music, and I just knew that if I wasn't in LA that night in August, that I'd be missing out a lot. So just a few days after Jordy passed away, I sent a Facebook message to Steve Rennie and just told him about Jordy. Just told him, I asked him if he could pass the message on to you guys that you really did make a big difference in his life, and you really inspired him and inspired me, and I just wanted you guys to know that, because Jordy, I mean, he was one of the best friends that I had, and he never got the chance to thank y'all personally for the music and stuff, and I just kind of felt like it was something I should do on his behalf, and just right after that, I was just like, I have to get a plane ticket and go to LA for that night and just be there as a memorial to Jordy and as a celebration of his friendship. I just knew I had to be there. So, I mean, this isn't a pity plea or anything. This is just, I feel like I have to be in LA that night, and whether or not I win these 2 tickets, I will be in LA on August the 23rd, and hopefully I will find a way to the symphony. But again, Mike, I just want to say congratulations on such an awesome accomplishment. Uh, I hope you pick me. If not, like I said, I'll be there anyway. Thanks for everything you guys do, and hope to see you on August 23rd.